Ladies and gentlemen, the Godfather is here.
You are Locked On Lions, your daily Detroit Lions podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's happening, everybody? Matt Derry with you. Locked On Lions, Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day on a Tuesday, February 20th and a Wednesday, February 21st. If you're watching,
can I get another Bloody Mary, please? Oh, sorry.
If you're watching on YouTube, he's completely hijacked the open. But ladies and gentlemen, I actually have known you 28 years. I don't think I've ever called you the Godfather to your name, to your face. I thought that maybe that was kind of lame to do, but Stoney is with us today, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by the way, Gametime today. Download the Gametime app, create an account, use code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. What's up, buddy?
How are you? You didn't call me the Godfather because that's only been like 5 or 6 years. I had to earn that.
When did that? Yeah, when did that? Who did somebody coin that? When did that start?
I believe it was Kirkland Crawford when he wrote an article about me in the Detroit Free Press, called me the Godfather of sports radio.
And
that was 6-7 years ago, I guess. I don't know. Do
you remember when Kirk was our intern at DFN?
Vaguely.
Okay.
No offense to him. I just, when you get old, you forget people.
But it's funny. Like, we get people all the time. They'll go, remember when I interned there? Like Jason Disick. You remember Jason?
Yes, Jason. Him I remember, yes.
Okay. Jason Disick runs all the Pistons games on Bally's. And their wide viewership right now. And come on.
I know.
You watch.
I tried to restore the floor,
I know you did. We'll plug the pod. Are you still doing the podcast with Evan?
Yes. Let me tell you, lots of positivity there.
All right. So Jason Disick was our intern. Kirkland Crawford. There was one other one that came up to me like recently. It's like, remember when I interned? And I was like, when? Anthony Broom interned for me at 105.1. Like, we had some legends that were in our hallways that we probably didn't even realize.
The great Chauncey Williamson was an intern.
Oh, come on. The best, but he worked with us. He was, But Stoney is with us live and direct from, where are you, Florida now?
Yes, I'm in Boca Raton.
Oh, there you go. Are you at what was the Del Boca Vista? That was the bit on Seinfeld.
Boca West.
Down there. But we're talking Lions. We got some news to go over from today. Tracy Walker is gone. Put out on his Instagram that his days in Detroit are done, and thanking the fans. That's going to save the Lions about $5.5 million. Talk to Stoney about his career, which isn't over yet.
That's right.
I don't know where you want to go with this. By the way, I am filling in tomorrow night on the Fan in Cleveland. It's an Odyssey station, so I have to behave myself. You maybe don't have to anymore. I don't know what the rules are.
Well, I'm going to behave. I'm going to behave myself. I mean, look, when it was announced, a mutual decision. I'm getting older.
How old are you these days?
I compared myself, Diesel, to the legendary Frank Tanana without the religious stuff. I've lost my fastball. I'm still a crafty lefty, but I'm not what I understand that. So in our business, as you know, they usually just, when they're sick of you, they say, see ya. So at least, we discussed the whole thing. They said, we want you to 2 more years at least, maybe more. Still do the Lions postgame, do your Restore the Floor podcast with Evan Jenkins, and I'll be filling in. And the best part about this, I don't have to get up at 4:30 in the morning.
It's time for you to get some sleep, dude.
Yes. Look at these bags.
The mornings are a killer.
Yeah.
It's tough. I mean, I only got up to do updates and babysit some people. I was I don't know. I can't tell that story. It was one of the Dame and the Dog Perry stories, but like you had to stay on your toes.
Oh, yeah.
For that
watch your back.
I also was there the morning. Oh gosh. When Parker hung up on Kirk Gibson. And our then program director came in, and we had to like break up almost fight. I had to grab Rob, and Jim Reed had to grab the other guy. It was pretty wild. So you had to stay in your toes. What's that? That's correct. That is correct.
One of these days, we have to get somehow a podcast of all the DFN people together.
Well, aren't we approaching the 30 years?
Oh yeah, July 11th, 1994.
So
2024. Yeah.
I would assume maybe there'll be some sort of gathering.
Albert, Rob will throw it because nobody promotes himself better than Rob.
You know what? He's been quiet lately. I usually get text messages that he's in town for something, but
I actually saw him. I had no idea he was in town Friday after my last show. He texted me. I said, "Where are you?" He goes, "I'm in town." I said, "Well, come to Mr. Joe's," and he showed up.
Mr. Joe, you're still at the same places. It's unbelievable.
I haven't been there in a long time. It was just convenient because it was close to the station.
Do our friends still own it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's crazy. I don't even know where we're going with this. All right, let's talk some Lions. I texted you that night. I really enjoyed listening to you after the Tampa game? Yeah, it was the Tampa game because you were like on fire. Did you then get up the next morning or no? Because you were on late that Sunday night after the Lions beat the Bucs.
Yes,
you were. Oh my God.
Yes, that was because the Tampa game was the Sunday night game as opposed to the Rams was Saturday night. Yes,
it was Sunday afternoon, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but I was on. It started I don't know. I was on whatever. I got like 3 hours of sleep.
Well, but you take.
No, it was the Rams. It was the Rams game.
Was it?
Yeah, because Tirico did the Rams game. It was Sunday night football, right?
I did hear that. I was stuck in the parking garage, but the Tampa game, you just had so much energy, and you're like, we're the NFC Championship game, and all these people were calling in, even old DFN callers. That must have been a blast for you. How much fun was that?
It was great. I mean, look, you know better than anybody. I mean, how long? If somebody would have told you that, the first, we said always the oldest bit in the world. Who's the next team to win a championship? The Lions. Right. Well, they could have obviously, but it was just. And I always thought, from working in DC for a long time, where every year when I was there, the Redskins had a chance to go to the Super Bowl. This town has never had that. And this was the first year. Look, we had as you know, the Barry years. There were, the year with Stafford and Sue where they got screwed by Dallas. They were good, but you never had the feeling where they took over the city like they did. It was amazing. It really was.
All right. So I just mentioned before about Tracy Walker. That's not a surprise. I mean, $5.5 million are going to save on the cap. No. I got to figure that John Kaminsky is next. That's also another around $5 million. Brad Holmes and this front office know what they're doing. And to be quite honest, this is a layup. I mean, Tracy Walker wasn't going to play.
No, he was a special teamser when he wasn't a healthy scratch. And the other thing, does this lead you to believe possibly they bring back Gardner Johnson? Because I thought that was completely off the table. Maybe it's not, because I saw what's his face before I came down to Florida. Member of the tribe, Mike Tannenbaum, saying that the Lions should bring him back. And I said, I don't know about that.
No, I don't see it. If you got Melifanu and you got Kirby Joseph, where are you going to play?
Exactly.
Chauncey
is Melifanu the best? Hey, Diesel, is Melifanu the best Lion from your alma mater since Kevin Abrams?
That's a good question. Gosh, Syracuse guys for the Lions. Peanut Abrams. I mean, trying to think of other. That's a reach. It's funny because we always used to make the joke about how Syracuse players don't go to the NBA anymore. And it's been a while. I mean, like Buddy Boeheim's he's lighting it up in the G League, but Syracuse football to the Lions. That's a good. And Melifanu's been really good.
Yes, he has. Yeah,
I give notion that
I give Aaron Glenn credit. They found a role for him, and he's like whatever you want to call him, Viper Blitz. I don't know. He was really good.
No, he's been good. And look, the Lions, the cap's weird, as you know, and this is not something you break down on your shows or even on here, but the Lions have been smart with what they're doing. I just wonder if what the big move is going to be. Do you see Brad Holmes actually doing a big move? Because his first 3 off seasons have been like little nice moves, and he's been pretty conservative when it comes to free agency.
I think he's going to follow the same path, but nothing the guy does surprises me. So I don't know whether it's I forget his name, the defensive tackle from the Ravens, whether they go crazy and go get,
Brian Burns or Danielle Hunter
or Jackson from the Bears somehow. Right. I mean, I don't think that would happen, but nothing would surprise me. Go get Mike Evans. I don't know.
I mentioned Mike. I was going to ask you about this. I mentioned Mike Evans yesterday, and some people on YouTube commented that I'm nuts, but like, that's a go for it move.
Yeah.
You're not bringing Josh Reynolds and Mike Evans back together. That would be a goodbye, Josh. We love you. We know you and Jared have great chemistry, but you kind of bobbled the Niner game away, and we're upgrading. That's a go for it move.
Now he drops passes too, Evans, but he's also a bigger threat.
But he's over 30. And he's going to want $20 million a year, which is not what the Lions do.
No, but if it's a 1 year thing, if they think, which I don't think they do, because I always thought, all the moves they made were because they realized they were at a certain point. Like at the trading deadline, I honestly believe if they thought that Montez Sweat was never going to happen because they weren't going to give up a number one, and Chicago's number one was better than the Lions with Washington's. But if they really thought they were one player away, the Chase Young thing, they would have done it. I just don't think they ever thought that they were one player away.
But I think Brad Holmes was right. I mean, Chase Young, it was the Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown run against the Niners where Chase Young is jogging across the field. That doesn't fit with what goes on down at 2-2-2. So,
what's weird? They're right a lot. I mean, I was one of them, and Jansen was too. We were all Jalen Carter guys. We knew he had some issues, and he played really, really well the last few weeks of the season for the Eagles. He was with their implosion. But who would you rather have, Gibbs and Laporta or Jalen Carter? And after 1 year, you probably want to have Gibbs and Laporta, although Carter, I still think if he gets his head together, will be a Pro Bowl player.
I agree. Stoney with us, Mike Stone, of course, still with 97.1 The Ticket, legend in the business. Coming up next, I want to ask him more about the Lions. We'll get into some more about the draft, get some needs that Stoney feels that the Brad Holmes has got to address. We'll do that coming up next. But first, we're here to tell you about our friends at Gametime. Mentioned before, best place to get tickets is the Gametime app. You shouldn't have to worry when you buy tickets for your next big event because Gametime is the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets for all your sports, music, comedy, theater events near you. Killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, and views from your seat. There's the best price guarantee with Gametime. I love the view from your seat because you can go on the app and see exactly where you are sitting. So you'll know where you are. Last-minute tickets, flash deals, zone deals, they've got it all at Gametime. And they've got deals on tickets right up to the start of the event, and even an hour after it starts. It's the best place to find your last-minute seats. Download the Gametime app, create an account, all right, and use code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create the account, redeem the code LOCKEDON, LOCKEDON, for $20 off. Download Gametime today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Michael Stone with us, live and direct from the beautiful state of Florida.
Michael Stone, when have you ever called me that before?
I don't know. I could do the Stanley Bit. There's so many things.
Oh.
By the way, so this was a very emotional week for you last week. I mean, the whole goodbye on Friday, and appreciated the shout out. I just texted you and told you I'm just glad you mentioned Albert because, Albert's the king. But like, that was awesome. That seemed like it's weird because you're going to be back in the air, but I think you wanted to you didn't get that goodbye. You didn't get to go out on your own terms the first time.
Right. Oh, I know. Thank you. Thank you, Cheap Channel, which I mentioned actually.
I drove by the old building the other day, by the way, because it's right by my.
Was Les Ismore there?
No, the McDonald's is gone. Did you know that at 12 and Halstead? That's impossible. When has a McDonald's ever been gone?
I know.
And
first the Cozy left, right?
It's a Savvy Sliders now, yes. Mm-hmm. And there's like some brunch place that's next door. It's actually they've done all right over in there. Man, we hit all those places. What was the
Panera?
The fast food Mexican spot that was across the street from the McDonald's.
Was it Del Taco or something like that?
No. It was gosh, that was really good.
That was one of the first Cozy's was there that I remember.
Cozy was there. Good times. Antonio's, come on.
House of Ing.
We're doing 12 and Halstead trivia here. All right. But seriously, your last morning show. I mean, what was
it was emotional. There's no doubt about it. I did that show with, 3 different partners, Bill, and of course, Jamie still. It's when you walk in that studio and it says the Jamie Sanderson studio,
I love that they did
every
that.
morning. It still gets to you. And the last few years with John. So yeah, it's amazing. I mean, everybody always brings up the DFN stuff, but I've been doing the morning since December 10th. December of 09 was my first shift with Pat Caputo in the atrium of the Silverdome. That was thrilling. And
you made it through. You survived that.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you how Tom Bigby wants it done.
I heard you say,
Thanks, Pat.
I heard you say that. I'm like, oh my gosh.
But it's been since January of 2010. So it's been, 14 years doing mornings.
By the way, you said on the air that Jimmy brought you in. Jimmy wasn't there then, weren't you?
Yeah,
I thought Big Tom brought you in.
No, Jimmy and Debbie, we met at a Pistons game.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
But Big Tom knew you were coming.
Tom was there. He had an office.
He still had his cameos from now and then when you guys got there. Just the best though. That guy was something else. All right, so you're still gonna be filling in, so that's good. And you're gonna be doing Lions postgame. Which I know you had fun this year.
If they were on Monday night or Sunday night during the regular season, they wouldn't allow me to do it because they didn't want me completely tired in the morning. So now I'm not going to be doing mornings.
Yeah. Will you do it during the preseason also? You might as well, right?
I hope not. I don't know.
This team is that good and that fun, and it's for now.
People care that much. You're right.
People love it. All right, what are your biggest needs? Like at 29 in the first round, this isn't like a top 10 pick anymore that the Lions just always had when it was Sewell at 7 or Aiden at 2. Now it's like, all right, they're picking 29th. But if you're Brad Holmes, what are you thinking? What are you doing?
Well, I think I think they need a cornerback more than anything else now. Who's going to be there? I love the kid, and I haven't studied it all. I've looked at some YouTube. What's it? His name Renshaw? Not John Renshaw.
No. Ennis Renshaw Jr.
Yeah, from Missouri. And he looks really good. And I've watched them play because one of their offensive linemen who'll probably go in like the 4th or 5th round is Javon Foster, a proud graduate of the West Bloomfield Lakers. So I watched.
You know all those. You shout all those guys out on your Twitter.
That's damn right. So he appeals to me. They also have an edge rusher, Robinson, I think.
Darius Robinson, who's from Canton.
Darius Robinson too. Yeah,
he's from here.
Unfortunately, what's his name? The Quinnen Mitchell from Toledo. He was so good at the Senior Bowl. The Lions will never have a chance.
He'll be gone
unless they trade up, and I don't think that.
The guy that I would want is Cooper DeJean from Iowa. I just don't know if he's going to be there at 29. But man, he's just so athletic. He just fits the bill here, and he'd be awesome. But again, because all these quarterbacks, right? But if all these QBs go and there's a run on quarterbacks, and then if we get a quarterback, then there's going to be other guys that slide down. Then the hope is somebody like that, like DeJean or even like you said, Mitchell drops to 29. That would be the win.
Mitchell's not dropping. I'd like Renshaw is McKinstry. Is he had a disappointing season last year from Alabama? Kool-Aid.
No relation to Zach, by the way.
Actually, it would fit the Lions' history if the Lions drafted some Kool-Aid.
Right, that's true. That's true.
But look, I trust. It's ridiculous. It's in Brad we trust. It's kind of like you with your baseball team in Cleveland when he was the old general manager. You trusted everything he did, basically.
Yeah,
he was so good
for a while.
Players and developing and that stuff.
No question. All right, corner. What else do you want?
I think they need some help on the offensive line because how long is Decker going to be there? Ragnall's hurt a little bit, and Jansen always would tell me availability is a most underrated thing about football. If you can't play, what good are you? But, and Ragnall, he gets hurt a lot. So are they going to bring back Glasgow? Are they going to bring back Jonah Jackson? So they need, Kobe Solders is their only really young guy, and it's too tough to tell. You have to give guys 2 or 3 years, especially coming from William and Mary. So I think they definitely need help there. I don't know if you go first round there. And if there's a defensive tackle,
yes.
I don't know what they think of Broderick Martin, from what he showed in practice.
He never played.
I know.
That's like the Gilmore kid that everybody forgets about was inactive. Was inactive.
And there you go. There you go, Deej. There's your free agent, his older brother. because his older
Stephon
brother
and Steven, that'd be crazy.
Okay, number one, he could, mentor him and things like that. He was still really good last year for the Cowboys. And Diggs is coming back. They got Bland. I don't think they need him.
That's a good call. Yeah. He could still play, I think they're going to they got to get a free agent corner and they got to draft a couple of young guys.
Yes.
You're right. I mean, God bless Kendall Vildor and all these others, but and Jerry Jacobs isn't going to come back.
No.
You got to, and Cam Sutton, I don't know if the Lions would pull the trigger on him and make him a cap casualty, especially with he got number 2 money, 3 at 30 or whatever it was, but he had to be the number 1 guy, and he's not.
Now, do you take a chance on bring Mosley back?
Yeah, give him a 1-year deal. Why not?
Right. Yeah. So, and because that's who they wanted to be the number 1, right? I mean,
right. Well,
more than Sutton.
Yeah, no question about it. And I mentioned before about Mike Evans, but you wonder if Brad would draft any skill position players on offense. Look, we all said last year, why are you drafting a running back at 12? Well, that worked out. Some thought Laporta, a little bit of a reach.
Yeah.
Some. And then the guy's an absolute stud. So it would not surprise me if Brad Holmes at some point in the draft or even in free agency, you're right, kept adding to that core of receivers. Or I'm not saying it would be another tight end. I don't see that, but man, they're loaded on offense.
Yes. I'm not one who is subscribed to drafted kickers, and I wouldn't. But free agent wise, if they can find a kicker that they like better than Badgley, they should go get it.
Isn't it time?
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't addressed the kicking situation in 3 years. It's almost like they don't care.
Not that who knows if it would have made a difference, because look, Badgley in the playoffs was fine. He made
was all right. Yeah,
yarder, so you can't blame that. But if you had a better kicker there, maybe some of the decisions that were controversial that I didn't really hate that much wouldn't have been made. And couldn't they have given up a 7th-round pick for Prater? I mean, I understand why they never signed him to give the Lions were a 3-win team. You're not paying that guy a lot of money. But now, I don't know.
You look back on it, they kind of did cheapen out on the Prater situation. If they would have given him another year on the deal, I mean, that'd be
but they were in such a bad place, though. I mean, why would you spend a kicker on a team that you might win? You're hoping they're going to win 3 games.
But by year 2, they could have used him.
Yeah, probably.
Right, more with Mike Stone.
Great Austin Seibert or whatever the hell his name was.
I mean, the whole list. Remember the Santoso kick in Pittsburgh? I mean,
oh my God,
that was a classic.
He lived downtown in the same building as our Will Birchfield. They were in the elevator after that game.
Oh no,
Birchie said he didn't talk to him.
I think Will would have kicked it a little bit better than Santoso on that.
I'm curious, where do you stand on the quarterback situation? Not Goff. We know what that is. Is Hooker going to be the number 2? I mean, this town, judging from some of our idiot callers, they love it now and things like that.
No,
I'm not even convinced he's the number 2.
I would probably sign a veteran or bring in somebody to compete with him.
Yeah,
absolutely. I don't think it's going to be Nate Sudfeld,
no,
but it could be somebody else.
No,
and then you see
how Blau's now a coach in Washington.
Who is?
David Blau's like a quarterback.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
Most famous for when his wife ran, the video on Hard Knocks.
He's most probably you're freezing up there on me. Yes, in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing I'm just curious your take on is where does JJ McCarthy go in the draft? Because based upon what he did in Michigan, okay, it didn't look great. He made a lot of really good throws, but I always wonder if you put him in an offense, let's say at Mississippi, how good his stats. I mean, he would probably be unbelievable, but that's for smarter people.
No, but I think though, if you're a Lions fan, the hope is that JJ goes early.
And I'm not talking about for the Lions. I'm just talking about just.
Oh yeah, no, I think he's a late first, early second guy. I'll be interested in seeing how he does at the combine if he's there. And look, he and Harbaugh had some weird kinship. I mean, it was like, the whole baptism thing, all that stuff. I mean, it was like they were hand in glove and it worked. But again, you got to be in that right spot and he's going to have to sit a little bit. He's not going to go somewhere and start right away, is he?
No, he can't.
Maybe.
I don't think so. No.
There's a lot of bad quarterbacks, a lot of bad teams that need a quarterback, but I'm not sure he's playing from day one.
No. You know where he'd be really good? With the Rams, sitting behind Stafford for a year or 2.
Yeah. Or even Baltimore. You go there with Jim's brother.
John.
and you be the backup for Lamar. And if Lamar gets hurt or something happens to him, JJ gets a chance. All right, I got to do one more read, then I want to wrap up with the great Stoney. We'll do that next.
Okay.
Let's talk about FanDuel, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get buckets with your first bet on FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, because right now new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 if your bet wins. College basketball tonight, NHL, Wings playing well. You want to put some money down on DRW, you can do that, of course, at FanDuel. But they love the NBA action right now because the NFL is done. Bet on all your favorite NBA players and teams with live same-game parlays, quick bets, exclusive props, and more. Just visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and shoot your shot. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon. FanDuel, official sports book partner of the NBA. Stoney with us, 97.1 The Ticket, of course, a legend in the community as well. What else? So now that you're not going to be up in the morning, what else you have planned? I know you go to Planet Fitness. I hear your Planet Fitness commercials, but
yes,
what else on the dock? You should write a book. What do you think?
Well, I'm thinking of doing something, but we'll leave it at that.
All right.
I don't know. I plan to spend more time in the winter in Florida because my parents have this place where I am right now in Boca, and we're redoing it because my father passed away in August, and my mom doesn't want to come back. She's like 90 years old. She's in decent shape. By the way, Diesel, are we as close to I don't know, because you're a Browns fan, you're more of a Lion fan now.
Yes. The
Matt versus Patty Dairy Super Bowl. Are we close to that?
You know what? I thought there was a chance it was going to happen this year.
I know
the way the Browns were playing, but now that I'm not a Deshaun Watson guy, so when Flacco was going on his run, you're like, wow, this is great.
Yeah, because their defense is great because of Jim Schwartz, baby.
Hey, he did well. He did well.
Why does he not even get interviews though?
Not you and I know why.
Well, yes and no. But
5 minutes in, yeah, I guess.
Jamie used to always say once he got lifted off by the Bills,
yes,
he came back. He forfeited any right to ever be. I think time heals all that. The guy's mature. You would think. I don't know.
Jim Schwartz was also a big hangout guy at the wood shop up in Clarkson.
Oh, he was.
He was always spotted there. Yes,
better there than the meat shop.
That's way too inside. Jeez.
I see him. I see Bauer like in West Bloomfield High School football.
Really? He's here?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That would have to be another one we'd have to get in for the 30 years. We'll get Patrick Maher back. Patrick's
I've done those shows before.
He loves you. He has you on all the time.
I know.
Patrick's the man. What was I going to ask you? Yeah. So, you look at next year. Are you one of these people that says, I'm going to pick against the Lions and Green Bay is going to win the division? Are the Lions a lock? How do you view it?
I think they're the favorite. They should win the division. I'm not one of those, maybe because I'm not as knee-jerk as I used to be. I mean, there are people think if they don't win the Super Bowl, the season's a failure. I mean, come on, really?
Next year?
Yes. I don't even think if they don't get to the Super Bowl because it's not a step up. They have to make a step up. I get that, but it's the NFL. I mean, come on, really? Be realistic. Just be really, really good every year. Maybe, a couple of years you can do something like that. I mean, it does suck that they were so close this past year, but
there's no question about it.
Hey, some people want to blame Campbell. I blame Josh Reynolds. So
he's got to catch the football.
Yeah, exactly. It's chicken and the egg.
So many things went wrong in that game, and I also think they've got to be able to pressure the quarterback better next year. The secondary has to be better, especially the corner next year. And like I said this on the show last night, the schedule's murder.
Oh, I know.
My God, I said maybe 5 or 6 primetime games. I mean,
do they open up in San Francisco, you think?
I'm guessing Rams again for Monday night or Sunday night.
Oh, here.
Open up. That's what I think. Yeah.
And Stafford could get a video this time.
I would think so. Come on.
I would hope so.
If it's week 1, now you clap for him. Now you video. Oh, I would say for sure.
I got this from your buddy Dave Dombrowski. It's a Whit Merrifield Phillies hat.
Did he really give that to you?
No.
You know of my disdain for the Tigers, but I love Dave. I don't know why, but I thought I was jealous when he was running the Tigers. That guy knows what he's doing.
Oh yeah, I mean,
he wins wherever he goes.
Phillies with Whit Merrifield, they signed yesterday.
That's not a bad signing.
No,
but, for now, for February, why wouldn't the Tigers have tried to go get Whit Merrifield? Don't give me this McKinstry stuff. We know why.
I don't know.
Same as
they have a massive hole at third base. They like Veerling. I think Veerling's a guy every team. You need a guy like that on your team. I'd rather have him than Gregory Soto. So I don't, even though the Maton stuff sucked, but
not every day.
In that division, as you know better than anyone, they have a good chance.
They all do.
You
know, and not the White Sox, but I think the other four teams all could. Kansas City had a great offseason.
Yeah.
They did well. All right. So post-game shows, filling in. When are you on the first time back as a fill-in?
March 1st, Stoney and Rico.
Here's and people are gonna be mad when I say this, but I'm gonna do it. What's good about this fill-in bit for you now is that you're gonna be able to talk Michigan football, and your co-host is gonna actually be able to talk with you.
Well, yes, exactly.
Right?
It'll be the opposite cult. Because they think that Michigan football is a cult, which it is, some of it, I agree. And I'm a Michigan football fan, as you know. But the cult of hating everything about Michigan, that's a cult too.
It's going to be, you'll have fun, but you're going to get to sleep. Yes. And it'll be great. So, Absolutely. All right, well, safe travels when you come back. Anything else you want to touch on?
No, I'm doing, no, not really. I just can't wait for those Michigan Panthers. What is a chance?
Do we have a team?
Yeah, they're part of the
UFL.
We have
a UFL team?
Yes.
All right, we do.
And they're going to be playing at Ford Field.
All right.
That's going to be great. Hey, David, they have a good chance of going to the NCAA tournament as Juwan. Okay.
All right, that's good. That's good. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing Juwan on the Michigan podcast. Oh, sorry.
Oh, he won't even do his own podcast, the school's own podcast.
Come on. Sit down with Brian with Brian Bush. He's a great guy. Sit down with T Mills. Oh, are you going to the reunion that the Pistons just announced? You love that team. We had great times together.
I'll be there. As long as my favorite and the guy you hate is there, I'll definitely be there.
Hey, will Joe be there?
I don't know. I hope so.
I know.
It's enough already. I know Gores is Gores, but Joe was great for most of his time.
I hope he's there.
I know. And I don't know why he won't get a thunderous ovation.
He would get a huge ovation. He hasn't been back in years.
Yeah. Hopefully because I talked to the great Kevin Grigg, and I said, even though I'm not on the air for the podcast, bring me Rip, bring me whoever I can get.
That'd be great.
Because you can't talk about them now.
No, but for the podcast, that'd be awesome content.
I know.
Evan Jenkins is great. I'm glad you guys get it together. He's
yes, absolutely.
He's the best. All right, brother. It was great. Thanks for coming on, and safe travels when you get back.
Wife and the kids. Hope everybody's doing good.
I will. Everybody's good, man.
Me, you, and Albert. We have to do lunch when I get back.
All right, lock it in.
Okay.
Mike Stone, everybody.
Locked on lunch.
We'll lock it in and lock it on with Mike Stone. Great to see him, and one of the best to ever do it in any market when it comes to sports radio. It's been a Tuesday edition of Locked On Lions.
Love you, Deez.